Hello my angels and welcome back to another video. My name's Rowan and today we are going to be talking about some Asian authors and booktuber creators that you should be following. Did you know that in 2017 there was a study by Lee and Low that found out that in children's publishing only 39% of Asian books or books about Asian characters were actually written by Asian Pacific or Asian American authors? This is a huge issue in publishing and not just one that's come up recently. People have been fighting for years to talk about this, and it's not just the Asian community, it's the Black community, it's the Indigenous community, it's everybody or anyone who's basically a marginalised author. Actual marginalised people aren't getting to tell their own stories, but white people are getting to tell their stories for them. Now, if you aren't aware, on Twitter it's kind of blown up recently specifically for Asian people, from the shooting in America down to the discussion about Avatar: The Last Airbender and how it was created by two white men, but they took whatever bits they wanted from different parts of Asia and Asian culture and just sort of mashed it together, and it's been so hugely successful. And now recently, Jay Kristoff, who is a white man, his, I think, debut, but definitely some of his earlier novels were about Asian characters and Asian influences and completely just borrowed from that culture. Recently he announced that he had 4 US arcs for his new book coming out in September, and Twitter blew up because Asian American and just Asian Pacific authors in general struggle to get arcs sometimes. You know, recently because of the pandemic, publishers are saying to them, oh, we can't afford to give you a physical arc, sorry, you know, money's tight. But then they're handing 4 arcs, like different arcs, to a man who is wildly successful and does not need that. He doesn't need that. Arcs are for review purposes only. He doesn't need that hype. He doesn't need that. He's going to make loads of money off this book. It's just unnecessary. And it shows that the money that they have is just being funneled towards their faves or, you know, the really famous people, when in reality that's not actually what is needed. They don't need to garner hype for this one book when there's already so much hype already. And I think the hypocrisy of this and the fact that his success came from this series, I don't know the name, but you can look it up, he now is getting things and getting opportunities that Asian authors aren't getting. So to highlight this issue and to sort of amplify some Asian voices, I've decided to give you guys a top 10 list of my favourite upcoming Asian books in 2021. And I also want to highlight some Asian booktubers that I mainly follow on Twitter. I'm really bad at watching booktube, but I have watched their videos in the past, and you know, now and again when I do actually watch booktube, I do watch them and I'm subscribed to them. We're gonna go 2 books and then 1 booktuber, 2 books, then 1 booktuber, and hopefully you guys can support them, request the books at the library, pre-order, that kind of thing. Now, I just want to do a precursor. These books are genuinely ones that I'm hyped for, so a lot of them are going to be fantasy with a little bit of sci-fi. There are many, 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 many other books coming out this year by Asian authors in other genres, you know, YA contemporary, mystery, romance, that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link each Goodreads link for each book that I'm recommending today, or, well, I'm not recommending because I haven't read them yet, but ones I'm anticipating, and then I'm going to link some Twitter threads that I've seen recently that compile a lot of other genres, so that if you like other genres, you can go and check those out as well. Okay, so this first book that's coming out on the 12th of April is actually one of my big 3, and I'm going to talk about my big 3 at the end because I didn't have a chance to get together and most anticipated reads or most anticipated books video up earlier this year because I am fucking useless, but I do have a big 3 that I'm really, really excited for, and this is one of them, and it is She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. Now, the author themselves has pitched this as Mulan meets the Song of Achilles. It is the story of the rise of the first emperor of the Ming dynasty. Now, the author also has says it is not a straight Mulan retelling, but it does have a lot of the tropes that are in Mulan, such as the setting of imperial China, the daughter taking on a male identity, having a war with the North, and also a training montage, which I'm so excited for. This is also a sapphic retelling, hence the pitch with Song of Achilles. And according to Brightest Katie Reads, there is a lesbian fisting scene. So, I mean, who doesn't want that? Like I said, this is one of my big 3 of the year. It comes out in just, oh my god, what day is it today? It's the 5th today, so it comes out in 7 days, literally a week till this comes out. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I think I knew about this last year and I've been waiting for it for a long, long time. And yeah, I just really, really, really hope that you guys check it out. The second one we have, it comes out on the 6th of April, which is literally, as of filming this, tomorrow. I tried to not do any that have come out already this year, but I have been lucky enough that I get to pick this one. And I've been looking at this one for a while because it is by Akemi Dawn Bowman, who wrote Starfish, and I think she wrote Summerbird Blue as well. So this is Akemi Dawn Bowman's sort of sci-fi fantasy debut. She's done a lot of contemporary before, but this is her first foray into the SFF genre, and I think it is YA as well. The main character, Nami, is, you know, a normal teenage girl. She's got everything going for her, and then suddenly she dies. But then she wakes up in this place called Infinity, where the human consciousness goes when the physical body is gone. And there is this sort of evil AI that has taken over the afterlife and installed itself as queen. So Nami gets tangled up in a team of rebels that are trying to take down this sort of evil AI. I'm really interested to see what Akemi does with this concept, because it's kind of like a dystopian concept, dystopian sci-fi, and I haven't read any sort of new ones of those recently that have really gripped me, but I am really excited for this because I know she's a really good writer and I followed her on Twitter for a long time now, and as soon as she announced this I knew I wanted to read it. Now we come to our first booktuber. So it will probably come as no surprise to you guys since I've been on sprints with her and, you know, she's just a fabulous human all round. But the first booktuber I want to talk about is Tazmyn from Tea Books and Tazmyn, not Taz. Now, Tazmyn does so much for the Asian community, and, you know, she boosts so many marginalized voices all of the time. She's such a bubbly character. She's so funny, like one of the funniest people I know and have met on BookTube. She's great, she's gorgeous, she's just an absolute angel. She does a few books for Penguin Teen now and again. I'm not sure if it's the Teen or if it's just Penguin, but she works together with so many collaborators. She works with Fairy Loot, like that, she's hired by them as a customer service, and she's just so into this community, and she's such a big part of this community to me. And honestly, I think you should just check her out. Her channel is Tea Books and Tazmyn, and her Twitter is @TazmynMay. All of this info will be in the description. She's only kind of just started getting back into doing more regular content, but some of her most recent videos are her first book haul of 2021, and a sort of Wednesday night dinner with her housemate Jess, which is so funny. They're just great together, they have a great dynamic. And yeah, please go check her out. The third book I want to talk about is The Ones We're Meant to Find by Joan Hay. This is the same author that wrote Descendant of the Crane, but this has been pitched as We Were Liars meets Black Mirror, and Black Mirror is one of my favourite TV shows of all time, so I'm very, very, very excited to read this. It comes out on the 4th of May, which is like a week before my exams, so I'm not going to get that read before my exams. But it is about 2 sisters, and one of them is trapped on an island, has no memories, no recollection of how she got there. Her name is Celia. The only thing she's clinging to, the only thing she can remember is that she has a sister called Kay, and she is out there somewhere in the world, and she is determined to get out there and find her. Now, the sister Kay is also living in isolation, but more in like an eco-city type deal. They have to stay in stasis pods, conducting business in order to receive, you know, fresh air, fresh food, you know, to live essentially. And apparently Kay doesn't mind this world, but Celia did hate it and just wanted to be out in the world, and she just wanted to do what she wanted, and apparently she took a boat out and just fucked off. But there's, I think, a little bit more of a conspiracy going on there, and I can't wait to read it and find out what the mystery is going to unravel to. Book number 4 is The Chosen and the Beautiful by Nhi Vo, and can I just say the covers for most of these books are just absolutely incredible. I would wish to have them face out on my shelf, that's how gorgeous they are. Now, this author is a speculative fiction writer, and I think that's what this book, like the genre that it comes under as well. And essentially it's set in the 1920s. The main character, Jordan, is queer, she's adopted, and she's Vietnamese, I believe. She's sort of treated as an exotic pet by her friends and the circles that she's in. And the blurb says, But the world is full of wonders, infernal pacts and dazzling illusions, lost ghosts and elemental mysteries. In all paper is fire, and Jordan can burn the cut paper heart out of a man. She just has to learn how. And now that just sounds insane. And I really, really like when authors can mesh sort of the real world with like a magical and speculative fiction or speculative magic type world, because it almost feels real then, and almost feels like in our world that we could actually, you know, it could be real for us, and it, you know, one day we could open a door, go through it, or, you know, just manifest these magical powers. I really hope that that's the vibe that this book gives me, that I could possibly also cut the paper heart out of a man. And The Chosen and the Beautiful comes out on the 1st of June. The next booktuber I want to talk about is Tammy from Tammy Tries to Read. And Tammy I followed for a little while. I think I found her through Katie from Brightness Katie Reads, because I think they're quite close as friends. Tammy has impeccable taste. Every single book that she rates and reviews, I have felt the same way about, or if she's read it and rated it before me and rated it high, I've then taken that as a recommendation and read it and absolutely loved it. One of those books was Jade City by Vonda Lee, which is another book by an Asian author, which you should definitely check out if you haven't already. A lot of her most anticipated releases for 2021 from her video she put up earlier this year are pretty much the same as mine. A couple of my favourites of hers recently have been her video where she actually read The Chosen and the Beautiful and Empire of Sand by Tasha Suri, because I love Empire of Sand by Tasha Suri, and I'm so glad that she enjoyed it. And also her rant review for Ruin of Kings. Even though I enjoyed that book, I also very much enjoyed watching her rip it apart. So please, please, please go and follow Tammy. She is also on Twitter under @Tammy_reads. Now, number 5 in my list is actually another one of my big 3. And that is The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. The Jasmine Throne comes out on the 10th of June, and I know that it's coming in one of my book boxes, and I cannot wait. I think this is the number 1 book that I've been waiting for this year, because I enjoyed Empire of Sand so much by Tasha Suri. You should check that out if you haven't read it already. Great epic fantasy romance, but like good romance, not just shit. But The Jasmine Throne is a sapphic romance. Yes! The romance is between a princess and her maidservant who has a stolen birthright, and I think there's a lot of snark and like banter there. It's a fantasy with an Indian-inspired setting, and essentially just like disaster lesbians who are going to destroy the city, and I'm just so hyped for this book. I don't think I've even read the like actual blurb. I've only seen like the author talk about it on her Twitter, and you know, other people talk about it, and I just, oh, I'm so hyped. It's genuinely, I have no words. I can't wait to see what special edition I get in that box, because it's gonna be good. Number 6 is Gearbreakers by Zoe Hana-Makuta. I've had my eye on this one for a while. I think I did click want to read way before it had a cover on Goodreads. But this is essentially kind of like Pacific Rim meets Red Rising, and also I think it was pitched with like the Marie Lu Legend series as well. Essentially, there's these giant robots, very Evangelion, very Transformers, and there's a sapphic romance. It's kind of an enemies to lovers, because one of the girls tries to... Can you hear the wind? I'm really sorry if you can hear the wind. One of the girls is a pilot of these mechs, and the other girl is, you know, missioned and tasked to take down these mechs from the inside. So I'm really, really excited to see that kind of dynamic and see how that becomes into a romance. Hopefully it's slow burn, because that's what I love. But yeah, I'm really, really excited for this. I have so many things I'm excited for this year. I can't cope. I have a never-ending TBR. And Gearbreakers comes out on the 29th of June. The next booktuber I want to talk about is someone called Ansu, and she is one of the first friends that I made on Booktube. Her, Harsh Preet from Harsh herself, and Elite from The Petite Punk, which I will also be talking about. She's my next booktuber. We were all in a group, and when we all first started out, we all sort of supported each other, and I just really, really like her. They're all like, she's so bubbly. One of my favourite videos she did recently was her March bullet journal. It's really, really pretty, and I just like looking at it. Ansu is just great. She's so funny on Twitter, and she's just so cute. You just look at her little face. I love her. She's great. Yeah, on Twitter as well, Read with Ansu. Go follow her. It's all in the description. The next book we have has an absolutely gorgeous cover, and that is Six Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. So Elizabeth Lim wrote Spin the Dawn, which is another one that I have not read yet, but they have new covers, and the second one is already out and has been published, but I think there may have been a mix-up with the publisher, or the rights returned to the author and they were still selling them, or something like that. But this is the new cover for Spin the Dawn. Please go check it out. It's like Mulan meets Project Runway. Six Crimson Cranes is about our main character Shiori, who is a princess, and she has forbidden powers. It's one of those tropes that you're not allowed powers, but the main character has them, and she accidentally loses control on the day of her betrothal ceremony. Her stepmother, sort of evil stepmother type of trope, also has magic, but it's dark magic, and banishes Shiori from just the land and turns her brothers into cranes, and says that if she speaks a word to anyone about this, then each brother will die as she speaks any single word. It's just a story and a journey of magic, betrayal, love, just all the things that are great about YA fantasy. And yeah, I'm really, really excited for this one. Six Crimson Cranes comes out on July 8th. Next up is one that I only discovered yesterday because I wanted to get this list up to 10. And I was looking through the Twitter threads that I've linked below, and I found one called Iron Widow. And it's by Ziran Jay Zhao, and it comes out on the 21st of September, which is a while away, but now listen closely. Okay, but just listen to this. The boys of Huaxia dream of pairing up with girls to pilot chrysalises. Oh my god, I can't even speak. Basically, the boys in this world dream of pairing up with girls in order to pilot the giant robots. However, the girls often die from the mental strain. Now, our main character, Zitian, she offers herself up as a concubine pilot, but she has an ulterior motive. She wants to assassinate the ace male pilot who killed her sister. However, she kills him through the psychic link in, the mech, and emerges unscathed, and from then on she is known as an Iron Widow. She's then paired up with the strongest and most controversial male pilot, and I just have a feeling there's going to be like an enemies to lovers thing here, and this sounds so good. It sounds right up my street. I am very, very excited for that. Unfortunately, I can't find any pre-order things on Amazon Waterstones anywhere yet, but maybe it's because it's too early, or perhaps it doesn't have a UK publisher, but I will find it and I will buy it. The fourth booktuber I want to talk about is Elise, who on Twitter is at @ThatPetitePunk, and her YouTube is also the same name. Now, like I said earlier, Elise is another one of those people that was one of my sort of initial friends, or someone I talked to on booktube/book Twitter. I still follow her and still subscribe to her. I am mega excited for her. She's really bubbly. She is a disaster bisexual, just like myself. Her Twitter is so funny. I fucking cry every time. She is a directioner, just like Harshpreet. She loves Avatar: The Last Airbender. She loves Percy Jackson. We have a lot in common. And she is just absolutely fabulous, and I really hope you enjoy her videos. Some of her videos recently that I've really liked are her rereading the Hunger Games vlog, and her doing iconic Harry Styles outfits as books. Like for all the previous people, her links are all in the description below, and yeah, go check her out. Okay, we are on to our last two books. Now, number 9 also comes out on the 21st of September, and that is Last Gamer Standing by Katie Zhao. Now, again, this is something that is right up my street. It is about VR gaming battle royale. Yeah, there isn't really a need to say anything else. That had me hooked from the beginning. It's a 12-year-old girl called Raina, and she is the up-and-coming junior champion for this game, which is called Dayhold. And it's a VR battle royale against AI monsters and human players. And because gaming is still a bit of a boys' club, she has managed to conceal her identity, and although she is very, very popular and is very good at what she does, nobody knows who she is. She manages to get this opportunity to play for this like really, really famous team, but she starts getting blackmailed and like being threatened to be doxxed by someone. I think this is going to be a really interesting take on like the toxic gamer community kind of vibe. And obviously it's a battle royale and gaming is involved with some kind of tournament, which is one of my favourite tropes. So yeah, I am excited for this one, like I've said for every single other one. And last but not least, we come to Jade Fire Gold by June CL Tan. This is out on the 2nd of November in the UK. I think it's out in October in the US. And this has been pitched by the author as Zutara, which is Zuko and Katara from Avatar: Last Airbender. But if Katara was like an evil, all-powerful avatar and Zuko was sent to take her down, which that type of dynamic is just so I can't wait to read it. I'm so excited. I don't have any words, just tension, angst, I just want it all. And the Goodreads page specifically says slow burn romance, so I will be absolutely eating this up. And the last but not least booktuber I want to talk about today is someone I've discovered recently because I was on some sprints with her, and that is Rue from Rue's Corner. Now, Rue was really, really nice when I met her on sprints. Sometimes it's hard to get to know someone on sprints because it's obviously you're mainly sprinting and not getting to know people, but I really, really enjoyed chatting with her, and I checked out her channel recently, and some of my favourite videos recently have been her finishing her TBR vlogs. They've been quite funny, and I really enjoyed watching her popular series that she's not going to finish because I just like videos like that in general. And a lot of those books I very much agreed with, but some of them also I was like, what? So yeah, please go and check her out. That's it for this video, guys. Like I said, everything is going to be linked in the description. All the Goodreads links to these books that I've talked about, the links to Twitter threads for other genres of Asian books coming out this year. We're going to have links to the Booktubers channels as well as their Twitters. It's all going to be in the description. Please do check it out. It's really, really important to me as a white person who very much indulges and enjoys Asian culture, whether it be from East Asia or Southeast Asia, any part of Asia, especially though Japanese culture. I enjoy anime and stuff. As a white person enjoying that stuff, I feel like it's my responsibility to talk about this stuff and uplift and amplify Asian voices. So if anything you take away from this video, maybe also reflect on yourself if you're a white person who enjoys Asian culture but doesn't support actual Asian people or Asian authors. Maybe take a look at that, and you know, I need to take accountability for myself as well. I haven't read very many Asian authors recently or Asian books recently, and that needs to change. So I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I do hope you will check out the stuff in the description, and please just go check out these books, go check out these booktubers. I promise you won't be disappointed. Okay, that's it for this video, and I'll see you in another one soon. Bye!